So back in 2022, Represent was giving us this first edition of the Raptor release, which for sure looked quite nice, and coming from this brand it also brought quite good materials as well. But it seems that after 2 years we now have the 2.0. So in today's video we're gonna have a look at this brand new redesigned model, which for sure it's looking quite nice. Hello guys, and welcome back for a brand new review. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and also giving me a like. It really help out the channel. In today's video guys, as I said earlier, we're gonna have a look at this 2.0 version of the Represent Reptor Low. So let's go ahead and start with the box guys, which as you can see will come in this white glossy one, which has this very simple design, no writings whatsoever except this big R lettering here on top of the lid. So let's just go ahead and take the lid off guys. So inside of the box guys, I'm not entirely sure if it was the same for the first release. Nevertheless, inside we're gonna have this shoe bag in this cream color, which will have this Represent logo again in this black color here in the middle. We're also gonna have this small envelope, which inside will have this black piece of paper, which on top will have written Represent Footwear is designed with selected Italian leathers chosen from their luxury quality and softness, and a few other lines. So most definitely this one feels a bit more, I would say, premium coming from Represent. For sure I can say that this is a big step up coming from this brand. So let's just not waste any more time guys and just take the shoes out of the box. So in today's video guys, as I said earlier, we're gonna have a look at this 2.0 version of the Represent Reptor. So as I said at the start of the video guys, after 2 years Represent is giving us this new redesigned version of this Raptor release, which it's coming on the market for the retail price of £230, which will be a bit more expensive than the original one, which came at £195. So this one I actually managed to get it on the Black Friday sale for 50% off. Unfortunately for now, this one it's not available anymore. I think that these ones sold out on the Black Friday sale, but for sure, at least comparing with the first release, this one has a totally new and redesigned upper with some nicer materials. We're also gonna have some mesh as well here in the midfoot. But this one, in my opinion, became slightly a bit more chunkier than the first version, and also a bit heavier as well. So with that out of the way guys, let's go ahead and also do a small breakdown of this one. So as you can see, for this upper we're gonna have a mix of a few materials. For most of them we're gonna have some Italian leather according to their website, which will come in few colors. So starting here at the front of the toe section, this one will come in this gray color, which will also have some reinforcement as well. So this one will also be present here in the midfoot and also for the lacing system, and it will also cover most of this back part of the shoe as well. So for this design, at least for this gray part, we also gonna have this REP lettering, which was also present on the first release as well. So coming back at the front of the shoe, on top of the toe section, we're gonna have the same Italian leather, but this time in this off-white color, which will also have your perforation holes to give it some breathability. And even though this one will use this Italian leather guys, I feel that it's not one of the best which I've seen. For sure this one feels a bit like the ones used on the Nike Dunk range, which for sure is not one of my favorite, and it will crease a lot. Then in the midfoot guys, we're also gonna have between this E and P lettering some mesh material in this open style. This one will come in this off-white color, which for sure looks quite nice, and it will also give some breathability to this pair of shoes, which will be the case for the tongue as well, which will use the same material, and also this ankle section as well. As in for the actual lacing system, we're gonna have your normal punch out holes, which will keep in place these chunky cream laces, which in my opinion are looking quite nice. But in the actual box you're gonna receive a second pair of laces in this gray color, which yet again will be the chunky ones. So underneath these laces, as I said earlier, we're gonna have this very well padded tongue made out of this creamish mesh material. And on top of this one, we're gonna have this leather material in this grayish color, which will have some perforation holes. We're also gonna have the Represent logo as well, alongside this pull tab here at the top. But unfortunately this pull tab it's actually quite small, and this tongue, guys, will actually be kept in place by these elastic straps, which for sure it's appreciated. This one for sure will not move from side to side. So going now inside of the shoe, guys, for this one I'm gonna have this creamish color for this lining, which to be honest feels the same as the one used for the 1.0 version from back in 2022. So as you can see here at the back of the heel section, we're also gonna have this no-buck material, which feels quite nice to the touch. And also at the bottom for this one, guys, we're gonna have a thick foam insole this time. As you can see on the back side, we're also gonna have a lot of these Represent logos. From the midfoot to the heel, this one feels actually quite thick. And also for the lining, we're gonna have this leather finish, which was present also on the 1.0 version as well. And as usual, here at the heel section, we're gonna have this Represent lettering, which will come in this silver color. Going now towards the back of the shoe, guys, on each side of the heel section, we're also gonna have this nylon material, which will give it a bit of a structure. And just at the back of the heel section, I'm gonna have this TPU material in this gray color, which on top will have the Represent logo and underneath some lines. So now, guys, we can go to this off-white rubber midsole, which it's actually quite wide and also quite high as well. So this one will also be stitched to the actual shoe, which looks quite nice. As you can see, on each side of the front part of the midsole, we're gonna have this Represent lettering as well, which will come in a different color. And I would say that the design for the front and the mid section, it's very simple, but as you can see here at the back, we're gonna have this Represent lettering, which looks actually quite nice. But as I said earlier, guys, this rubber midsole, it's actually quite heavy. So now, guys, we can finish with this rubber outsole, which as you can see has a very interesting design. This one will have a lot of this R lettering here at the front and at the heel as well. We're also gonna have a big R lettering here towards the front. We're also gonna have this Represent lettering on this gray part as well. Most definitely the design for this one looks quite nice and very different to the 1.0 version released back in 2022. As in for the actual sizing, guys, for this one as the 1.0 version, for this one I just went with my true to size, and I need to admit that at least comparing with that 1.0 version, this one feels a bit more roomier. I feel that this one became slightly a bit more wider. Lengthwise this one will be the same, but for sure this one became a bit more wider, at least for the midfoot and the back part of the shoe as well. So I would say that for people with skinny and normal feet, you can just stay with your true to size, but just in case you have wide feet, guys, most definitely I would suggest you to go with a half size up, just to make sure that this front part of the shoe is not going to be too tight for you. So overall, guys, this release coming from Represent for this Raptor 2, in my opinion, it looks actually quite nice, and it brings quite good materials as well. Unfortunately, even though this one is bringing Italian leather, I feel that this one could have been a bit more softer. At least this tobo section, it will crease quite badly. But rather than that, I would say that this one, guys, it's completely changed comparing with the 1.0 version. This one became a bit more wider, also a bit more heavier as well. But the design it's completely changed, and to be honest, I really like this release. Unfortunately for me, as I'm still quite a skinny guy, I don't actually like that this one became also more heavier. but 100% guys, this one looks quite nice. The materials are actually quite good. I'm also quite pleased that they also introduced some mesh here in the midfoot and also on top of the foot, which will give a good breathability. For sure, this range actually became a bit more premium and also a bit more expensive, but for sure if you manage to get these ones on sale, for sure it's gonna be worth it. As I said earlier, the materials and the overall looks are actually quite good, but if you don't manage to get these ones on sale, I'm not entirely sure if 230 pounds is gonna be too appealing. In my opinion, I feel that this is a bit too high. But of course, if you don't just want to have your normal Nike, Adidas, Puma or New Balance in your feet, for sure this one could be a very good option out there. So yeah guys, this was my unboxing and reviewing of this Raptor 2.0 coming from Represent. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to press the like button, maybe also subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you want to have a look at any of my latest reviews, you can choose from any of the videos which you have now on the screen. And as always, I'll see you in my next one. Thanks for watching!